Hello team, welcome back for another edition of Sheppard Speaks. I'm Brigadier General Kenyon Bell, the Installation Commander here at Sheppard Air Force Base. And today I have the opportunity to sit down with the Commandant of the Sheppard Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Chief Master Sergeant Malik Barnes. So Chief, welcome. Glad to have you with us today.
Thank you, sir. It's great to be here. Our NCOA Academy has gone through some changes since I got here in 2019. And one thing that hasn't changed is our mission. This is where the rubber meets the road for our NCOs. They continue to learn and manage our most precious resource, which is our airmen.
Yeah, no doubt. And one of the things that we have seen, even during the short period that I've been here at Sheppard, is the fact that it has grown. I mean, we've gone from about 200 or so folks, and maybe even less than that, up to 300. It was the last class that I remember.
Yes, sir. Last class we graduated before COVID-19, we had 304 students from 42 bases and about 25 total for us active guard and reserve, which is usually about 5%. We're about 15% that class.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And all of that has been happening even through and with COVID-19. So while COVID-19 has had many impacts across the installation, our NCOA Academy has continued to fight through and providing professional military education for all of our NCOs, not just here at Sheppard, but across the globe.
Yes, sir. With COVID-19, kind of gave us a chance to kind of go back and think of a different way to do NCOA Academy and virtual. You know, we played with a few different platforms, you know, Zoom and Google Chrome and things like that, but we went to Microsoft Teams, which allows us to reach out to students at home to where their TDY in place. And we kind of cut the curriculum down as well from 25 academic days to 18 to 20, now to 22 days, which is a happy norm. Right. Getting a lot out of it from the students, so it's pretty much like being here, but you're just sitting at your home doing it. A lot of interaction with the academy and with the instructors.
So instructors are the root of everything, right?
Yes, sir.
They're the crux of the entire experience. And so today we're going to have an opportunity to talk to one of our NCOA Academy instructors, Tech Sergeant Anthony Wentworth. And the student, this is wonderful, the student is going to be his virtual class. So you'll get to see him interacting with his virtual class. So we'll take a look at that and then we'll come back and have a little more conversation.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So I'm an instructor here in this academy. I've been doing it for about 14 months now, and recently we just went to virtual because of COVID-19. This is actually our second virtual class. So the virtual class, we try to make it as close to the same experience as in residence. You could never replace in residence those connections you build, those experientials that we hold, but we do the best that we can. We actually have about 80% of our curriculum still doing it in that virtual atmosphere. It just causes us to be more creative when we're coming up with ideas on how we can get people involved, interacting in the same way that we would in residence. A lot of the students are really embracing our virtual classrooms. A lot of them appreciate how they can stay home, they can be with their families. It works to where they don't have a commute in the morning. Sometimes they don't have to go anywhere for lunch. So there are a lot of benefits to being virtual. They really get to stay in their atmosphere where they're comfortable, but they also push their comfort levels inside that virtual classroom. You know, they're sharing their thoughts and their experiences, and it's always a little harder when you're doing it through a camera instead of doing it face to face. Having our classes virtual does save the Air Force a lot of money, but I don't think you can replace the experience of being in residence and having people here face to face, you know, gaining from their experiences, gaining from their backgrounds, people coming from all over to share what they've seen in the Air Force, different AFSCs. I don't think we'll ever replace that. I believe that this is a great contingency plan in case anything in the future would prevent us from being in residence again. We can pick up, we can continue, and we can complete our mission being here or being afar.
NCOA for me has been a more comfortable experience opposed to traveling. So my spouse is currently deployed, I'm dual military. So I'm the only one in the area right now who can take care of my son. So it works because we're still able to do our day-to-day, but still able to complete the training. One of the takeaways that I expect by the end of this class is to better take these skills and apply it to my management within my unit, and hopefully to put some of my information that I receive onto the members in my unit and to better mold and help out my group. Something that a senior airman should look forward to, I guess after completion of ALS, because of course your first step would be ALS, is to really focus on polishing those skills that you already have. Looking forward to the conversation, looking forward to the experiences that you receive, as well as the mentorship that you get from your fellow peers when you reach that level.
As you can see, the NCOA Academy has had to do some innovative actions, has had to take some innovative actions to make sure and keep the professional military education environment going. So it's pretty interesting the way that they've adopted a new environment to be able to keep the training going. What else is on the horizon for NCOA?
Yes, sir. So in the future, we're going to keep the virtual as an option, but the plan in the future is to actually go back in residence, when we can get through COVID. I think our next class, probably our next 2 classes, will be virtual.
Okay.
But right now at Barnton, they're doing a 45-day outlook. So 45 days prior to the next class starting, they're gonna make a decision point to whether we go in residence or not. So with 20-7, our next class, which starts in August and graduates in September, we have 384 students scheduled for that class, and then we'll look at our fiscal year 21 calendar next. But I think we're gonna keep pumping money into the virtual platform because we figure out we can do it and we're getting really good at it.
Right.
So it'll be a contingency if there's another pandemic or if there's sequestration to where we can't send students TDY, we can fall back on this.
Sure. Well, having students here on the installation is a game changer.
Yes, sir.
When we were in the environment where we had close to 300 people here on the installation, being out and about, they do community projects.
Yes, sir.
They're supporting the club.
Yes,
There's just so much benefit of having folks here. But since the COVID environment has been upon us, then we make adjustments.
Yes, sir.
But I want to publicly thank you and the Academy for all the things that your team has done. When class was not in session, our NCO Academy instructors and cadre were out and about performing other functions on the installation, whether it was at the front gate doing gate screening, putting together a passenger terminal, or augmenting the public health organization, which of course has been thrust into the limelight. The wonderful part about your instructors is they come from our AFSCs that are across the installation. So to have them plug in such a big way, it meant a lot to the installation. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's good to be a part of Team Sheppard. From the day I took over in October, it's been Team Sheppard. So however we can support, whether in class or out of class, weekends, whatever, we're here for Team Sheppard.
Right.
In 82nd. So.
Well, and as we talk about the Team Sheppard moniker, it's not just been inside the fence line either. It's been your interaction with the community partners as well, because they completely support all the graduations in a big way, and that's also very impactful. When you bring 300 people in, it does impact the community.
It does, and it's amazing to walk these hallways. When I got here, we went from 184 when I got here, and then we went up to 290 and 300. Just to see the students and people that I've known, when they were airmen that I was in charge of as a master sergeant, coming through, and we're still having that connection. Right. So and then now doing virtual, I'm getting some students from, we got from anywhere from Washington State to Pennsylvania, bases I've never heard of because they're guard. But when we we interact and talk, it's amazing to get their point of view and just talk about life in the Air Force. Right. So it's amazing.
It does. Well, Chief Barnes, thanks a lot.
Yes,
thanks for letting us come and spend a little bit of time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us again for another episode of Sheppard Speaks. We'll see you back here next week for another edition. Have a great day.